50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wage, episode 593. Today is Monday, November 24th, 2025. Little scheduling change. I was on the way back. Kid, you know, driving from the great state of Maryland, hit a little traffic, and it could push it back a few hours. But other than that, man, how you doing? How was your weekend?
Come on, dude. You know, nobody knows more about I-95 more than me. So I'm doing pretty good. And for the people listening out there, your boy got new equipment. So you know it was a huge profitable day yesterday.
I'm so glad. Glad it was a good experience. Glad you had a lot of winners. I did as well. Not as much as you. And I had a great time. And that is where we will start. The Ravens and the Jets. Hey, kid, when was the last time I wore a Jet thing on a show? Not a lot.
It's been a while. I'm gonna say since week 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You know, you was excited from the Jets week 1 early on, but it's been a while, and not for nothing. You got to look at the bright side in the future. You know, you got 4 first-round picks within the next 2 years?
5.
Yeah, 5 first-round picks. You know, you still need a quarterback, but you got Garrett Wilson, who we all know when healthy, top 10 wide receiver, right? No doubt. The running game is pretty solid, you know, but we know Justin Fields is definitely not the answer to the future. And Tyrod Taylor, I think we both like Tyrod Taylor, but hey, we get there with the plus 13.5. So
hey, that's what I said. Good teams win, great teams cover. And to be honest, I was texting you and I was like, you know what? Being there watching the game, first of all, great people of Baltimore. I mean, gritty, blue-collar folk. They love their team, good food, and honestly,
cheap food.
I was gonna say
one of the best stadium with prices.
I got a chicken sandwich, and my girl got a hot dog, and I got a beer. Guess how much?
Hot dog, beer, and you said chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
34.
$27.50.
Wow. At MetLife, that would have been like $70.
Bro, that shit would have been like $50-$60. And I'm sitting there like, I said, I was so generous. I said, I'll tip you 10%. And they didn't even need it. But I'm sitting there like, wow, this is great. So
I would have brought 2 beers. I don't even drink. I don't even drink like that.
It was good. It was a great environment, good people. It was actually a really nice day. Like for late November, it was a really nice day. And I'll say, and I was texting you, going back to what I was saying. Honestly, the Jets should start thinking about starting Justin Fields because Tyrod Taylor's going to fuck around and win a game or two because the Jets play pretty good. I mean, I'm not really that positive with my team, but man, outside of that fumble, I thought the Jets played pretty well. I thought Tyrod Taylor outplayed Lamar. Lamar's playing hurt. You could tell. Watching it live, kid, he is playing hurt. The defense is okay. It was against the Jets, but when the Jets are going down consecutive drives, driving down the field, I worry a little bit. And, you know, like, yes, they're tied for first or in first, whatever, the Ravens. I'm not as confident as I was a couple weeks ago on the Ravens because the defense doesn't look good. Lamar's hurt. And the run game. Derrick Henry he had the 2 touchdowns from like the 3-yard line, but he's only averaging 3 yards a pop. Kenyon Mitchell, he was okay. I thought Zay Flowers had like a couple good catches. Yeah. Outside of that, they really didn't do anything that against a better team like you guys, they are not winning those games. I'll tell you that.
I love your last statement though. Not for nothing. In the first half, the Jets were live. You know, I know you was in enemy territory. Well, not enemy territory, but you wasn't in the most friendly environment as a Jets fan. And I know deep down you didn't want to say it out loud, but you was at halftime. You were like, Jets alive here. We got a chance on the road.
I looked to Sophia. She goes, the Jets are actually playing good. I said, don't jinx it, but we're live.
We're live. So, first half, I think y'all played well. I think Glenn did most of that. I think you got to give Glenn credit because, clearly the team hasn't gave up on him.
There's no quit in this team. I'll say that. That is a great point. You could tell on the sidelines this team is not quitting.
Yeah, the season, I'm not going to say a lot of teams quit out there, but, we wouldn't be shocked if some players gave up, week 11, week 12 against the Baltimore Ravens, and you got your backup quarterback in. But we didn't see that at all in the first half, so I think we got to give Glenn some credit. Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens did win the game, but like you said, though, and I'm glad that you said it because you was live in the building. Lamar Jackson hasn't been the same. Yes, I think they won, 3 straight games since he came back from the injury. But this is not MVP Lamar Jackson.
No.
Give him credit. They are winning these games. The defense is playing a little better. But, do I like them to win the division, moving forward? Maybe. I think Pittsburgh Steelers, it's going to be interesting to see how long Aaron Rodgers is out, if he's only out that one game against Chicago yesterday. But definitely not the MVP of Lamar Jackson we've been seeing as of late.
No, he's missing a lot of easy throws that back a few years ago, or even just earlier in the season, he's just not missing. And I'll say this, maybe it was the people I was around. They're growing increasingly frustrated with his, I don't want to say lack of play, but just his inconsistency at the position. And they still trust him. They still love him. I mean, there's so many Lamar jerseys in the stadium, but I guess they're just not used to this play from Lamar.
For the last, 3 out of 4 seasons, they've been seeing an MVP caliber, a top 5 quarterback. Right now, Lamar's not playing like a top 5 quarterback. And we don't know he's capable of being. Not just top 5, the best. Yeah. And we haven't seen that at all this whole season. It's not like we saw, a game or two where Lamar was like, all right, Lamar was the best player this week. No, we haven't saw that once.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think they'll win the division. Big game on Thursday, but yeah, win is a win. You should never apologize for winning in the NFL. It's hard to win in this league, but yeah, got to give them credit. Overall, it was a really good experience, and we covered the 13.5. Oh, it was amazing. They had I think they had it when we kicked the field goal to make it 10-3 or 17-10. They had on the Jumbotron, if he misses, free nuggets. And then everyone was like, miss it.
Of course.
And Nick Folk hit it. I said, no nuggets for you. No nuggets. They were sick. But they got the last laugh. But overall, it was a really good time. And I was actually proud to be like, on the ride home, I was like, we didn't play bad. Like there's so many times that I come here and I'm like, this team is awful. I hate everything about them. I couldn't say that yesterday. So gotta look at the positives. Yeah. All right, let's go to the other AFC North team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the Chicago Bears. Bears get the win and cover 31-28. Outside of that strip 6, Caleb Williams, 19 for 25, 239, 3 touchdowns, only 1 sack, and it was the crazy sack. But outside of that, DJ Moore had 2 touchdowns. Colton Loveslin had a nice game as well. One thing I guess negative about the Bears, they could not stop the run. They were running on them all day with Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren. Another disappointing game from DK, 5 catches, only 22 yards. Calvin Austin III led the team in receiving yards. And, Mason Rudolph is a backup. He didn't play great. He didn't play that bad, but he gave him an opportunity to win the game. It was just, the Bears are a better team. 8-3 Chicago Bears. And Aaron Rodgers, why'd you flip off the camera? Why'd you do that?
Aaron Rodgers wanted to play in that game. If there's any stadium, Aaron Rodgers, if you ask him where you want to play this Sunday, it's going to be there. It's going to be at Chicago. So, he was definitely a little upset that he wasn't able to participate in this game. Now, for now, I think the Steelers overall played good enough. Chicago Bears just outplayed them, just a little better of a team. I think Mason Rudolph wasn't horrible. I'm gonna be honest. I think 24 for 31, 171 wasn't great, but it's not bad. Honestly, through the one interception, you had a pretty good game on the running game. But what I was saying last EP why I took the Bears, who on the outside besides DK Metcalf are you worried about?
No.
Calvin Austin led the team in receiving yards. I'm not worried about that one bit come playoff time as a Patriots fan. So if DK Metcalf, if they can find a way to spring open DK Metcalf, take advantage. I just feel like for the rest of the season, it's going to be not a struggle, but just a tougher time for the Pittsburgh Steelers, just because their defense is coming along a little better now. But offensively, who's going to be that guy on the outside? The running game is decent, but DK Metcalf averaging less than 40 yards a game. That's not acceptable for the amount of money for the amount of money he's getting. So, and I like Calvin Austin the third, but at the end of the day, 4 receptions for 36 yards ain't gonna do it. Your second leader has 6 catches, 30 yards, ain't gonna do it. And then DK, he had 22 yards, and then Darnell Washington had 22 yards.
Are we talking about myself? I mean, Bears, they've won 4 in a row right now. They are 8-3. They're sitting at top of the North by a game or half a game because of the tie. But, they got that Black Friday. It's a huge 2 back-to-back really big games for the Bears. On the road against the Eagles Black Friday, 3:00. And then they're on the road in Lambeau against the Packers. 2 prove-it games for this Chicago Bear team who people have said, you really haven't beaten anyone. Me.
You are people. Yeah, definitely going to be a tough task, going to the link against the Philadelphia Eagles, who just came off a brutal loss, not to, skip ahead. But I think we're going to see for these next 2 weeks if Chicago's are pretenders or they are, I'm not going to say contenders, but, are they destined to at least win the division?
They're they're a playoff team.
Yeah, Now, can they win the division? I think if you win one of these 2 games, if you don't go 0-2 in these next 2 weeks, that might give you the best opportunity to win the division. You can't lose back-to-back games, and then week 15, you probably got who they have. Oh, you got the Browns. All right, so that works out. Then you got Green Bay, and then
Green Bay twice in 4 weeks for the division.
Tough. 49ers week 17.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule at the end.
And then week 18. The Lions. The Lions might be playing you for the division. Green Bay might have something to say about that. Not for nothing. Detroit. Chicago have a tough schedule to finish it off. I just realized that right now.
That's why this win was huge for them.
Yeah, I will still say try to win the division. It'll be hard. You got to beat either Green Bay, Detroit, Eagles. But you got to find a way to win some of these games. I think you could win the division with 10-5, maybe 10-5, 11-5. You got to win 3 more games. I think you win the division.
They win the division. Ben Johnson, coach of the year, or is it still Shane Steichen?
It's good. I think it's got to be a couple people. I think Shane Steichen, Mike Vrabel. Not for nothing. I know a lot of people probably won't give him his credit, but I think Sean McVay's doing one hell of a job right now with the Los Angeles
But we
Rams.
all expected the Rams to be good.
Good, not this good.
Yeah, maybe not this good, but we all expected them to be a playoff team. Come on. No one expected this from Shane Steichen. Their win total was 7.5.
And to be honest, I expected the Patriots to go over. I didn't expect us to be 10-2.
That sounds nice, kid.
That
sounds nice. And we'll get to your Patriots. 26-20 going on the road. It was a little closer than I anticipated. I mean, obviously I was at the game, but watching the highlights, first half wasn't the best for Drake May, but he did put it together in the second half. People are saying, you did this with T. Higgins out for the second half, no Jamar Chase. People are saying, fool's gold. Like, they're really not playing anyone. Hey, we get there with a Hunter Henry. Well, the prop of the week, he went for over 100. I told you.
115 and a tutty.
Tight ends against this Bengals defense. Mark Andrews, check that for Thanksgiving. It's going to be a big game for him. But yeah, I mean, you guys came out, you opened it up with a field goal, then you got a touchdown or the 2 field goals in the second half. You guys walk out of there, never apologize for a win on the road. And this team was up against the like they announced that Joe Burrow's going to play on Thanksgiving. I guess my question to you, why? They're 3-8, and he always gets hurt in Baltimore. Always.
I say why not? Why
to
not
save his
Bill?
job?
Maybe to save Zach Taylor's job, but if he's healthy, if he's 100, let's just say he's 100%. Why not throw him out there? Why just let him sit for?
Do you believe he's 100%?
Yeah, not for none. If he practiced last week, was a late scratch Saturday, and now is ruled. Is he ruled the starter? Is he?
Yeah, he's ruled the starter. Zach Taylor came out today and said.
I think he's 100% though.
I worry. That's your franchise. It's Joe Burrow. I know they did rule out Trey Hendrickson and not Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They did rule them out though.
I would be more worried if it was like a calf injury or hamstring or something like that. That if you re-aggravate, maybe you tear it or you're gone for another. You're gone for a year. With the toe deal, what? It's going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be hard to re-injure the same toe, but what are the chances getting turf toe twice in one season? I think that's good. That's pretty damn rare if you ask me. So if it was like a calf injury, an Achilles, a groin, or a hamstring, or even like a sprained MCL or something like that, then I'll be a little more concerned. But from a turf toe, I'm not really too concerned about it.
Yeah, Vrabel did come out today and said Will Campbell, he doesn't expect it to be season ending. He is out 4 to 6 weeks. They're going to put him on IR with the knee sprain. Thoughts on the game and thoughts on the injury?
For the game, I think we started off slow. Not for nothing. Drake May is due for a bad game. Even though it wasn't, first half was a little slow. We saw the pick six. Defense, not for nothing. Cincinnati defense was playing pretty well, not for nothing. But then in the second quarter, in the second half, Drake May finally came alive. We saw a couple of huge throws, like you said, to Hunter Henry. A nice ball to Demario Douglas up the middle. Austin Hooper had a couple great catches as well. With the running game, I think Travion Henderson, we saw more with Ramondre Stevenson as well. I like the 1-2 punch, but me personally, I want Travion Henderson to remain the starter for the rest of the season. So, like you said, I'm not going to apologize for the win. Did we look our best? Absolutely not. Did we walk out there with a victory? That's all that matters. So, I'm a little concerned with Will Campbell. He's been honestly one of the best left tackles in all of football, if you ask me. Now losing him for basically the remainder of the regular season, will the offensive line be able to protect the same? That's my biggest thing, especially on the left tackle side. From history, Patriots always been pretty deep at the offensive line. Now, new regime, new coaching staff. I want to see who's going to be able to step up and protect Drake May on the left side. Because we had multiple injuries on the left side. Our guard went down, tackle went down. So I think our guard is all right. I forgot his name. But it's going to be huge shoes to fill with Will Campbell being out basically for the remainder of the regular season.
You guys are the number 1 seed right now at 10-2. Are we thinking Super Bowl? What are we thinking, because I also want to congratulate you on winning the division.
No. Let's not do that. I'll tell you one thing. If things stay the way they are, I do think we could finish 14-4. No, 13-4. I do think we could finish 13-4. Now, does that get us the number 1 seed? It should. Realistically, if we get the number 1 seed, we'll get a bye. So boom, we're already in the divisional round. I think we could win a game at Foxborough in the divisional round. I think AFC Championship.
What would be a disappointing season lose? If say you get into the playoffs, right? Well, not say you're going to be in the playoffs. You lose first round. Is that a disappointment?
No, absolutely not. Our win total was 8.5 wins. A lot of people didn't even have us making the playoffs. A lot of people was questioning about Drake May in this offense. Still,
What if you lose to the Jaguars in the say you beat the Colts first round and then you lose to the Chiefs?
That's respectable. Now if we lose to the Chiefs at Foxborough like 37-10. Okay, now I'm like, all right.
What about first round at home and you lose by 40 to the Jaguars?
I'm gonna say that's a disappointment. But
yeah, okay.
But regardless, we won the division if we have a home game.
Yeah.
So no matter how bad that loss is, I think just winning the division, hosting a home playoff game, is everything we could have won it from this season and more.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
as a Patriots fan, if we get bounced in the first round, wild card round, divisional round, whatever it is, I wouldn't be upset. The fact that we made the playoffs this soon is, to me,
you're ahead of schedule.
We're way ahead of schedule.
First team eliminated from playoff contention is the New York Giants. And I got to go back on my take. I think I said it maybe 2 months ago, 3 months, something. It was earlier in the season, and I was like, Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back in the league.
No, you said Jonathan Taylor.
Did I? I thought I said Jahmyr Gibbs.
No, you said Jonathan Taylor because you.
Well, I want to walk that back. I think it's Jahmyr Gibbs after yesterday. I mean, for an offense that was kind of lackluster and kind of one-dimensional outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs was incredible. 15 carries, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a touchdown in the air as well. He caught 11 passes for 45 yards. He was the entire offense for the Detroit Lions. Another fourth quarter blown lead for the Giants. That is their 5th. And I mean, thank God we didn't record last night because I was going to say they should fire him, and that is what they do this morning. The Giants fired their defensive coordinator, Shane Brown. It was only a matter of time. He was one of Dable's guy anyway, which makes me think they're out on all of Dable's guys. But Jameis, he's electric. Kid, can I go up and down and say Jameis Winston deserves to be a starting quarterback in the NFL?
For entertainment purposes?
No. He will make, I've counted 8 teams better if he's their starting quarterback.
There's no doubt about it. Jameis Winston can move the ball. He's entertaining. He's been there and done that. Yeah, he might have a turnover problem. But at the end of the day, Jameis Winston is going to sling the ball. And we saw exactly that. To me, the player of the week is no doubt Jameis Winston. The man threw for 366 yards, 2 tutties, and then he caught a touchdown, hit a spin move, hit the linebacker with the Heisman. The
celebration was so elite.
Yeah, what we saw Jameis Winston do in Detroit was just flat out special. I think this man deserves to at least be the starter for the remainder of the season. I'm not for nothing. If Jackson Dart is clear to go, I think Jackson Dart definitely should be the quarterback. But Jameis Winston had himself a day. To me, he did everything he could to wheel the Giants into victory. I don't know why they didn't just kick the field goal with 2 minutes left in the game. They went for it on 4th down.
Yeah, Kafka needs to figure some of those things out.
Can we respect, the balls laid there? Yes. But you're trying to win the game. Why let them march down the field? Double team St. Brown. Let them march down the field. That's my thing. But I think Jameis balled. The running game was pretty well. I think Devin Singletary and Tracy ran the ball honestly pretty good. Wan'Dale Robinson,
he's on my fantasy. He went crazy.
He's on your fantasy team. I have Theo Johnson in one fantasy as well. I picked up Jameis Winston in one fantasy. He got me like 40 points, like 30. Yeah. I forgot how many, but he got a ton. So great game by the Giants. Great game by Jameis Winston. Now for Detroit.
Real quick. I want to say something on the Giants. It makes me believe in why I'm out on, and I've been out on Brian Dable. How dare them in front of our face start Russell Wilson for all those games? After seeing what Jameis has been able to do and how good he actually is, they were disrespecting us. They were throwing Russell Wilson in our face. He is terrible. And to name the teams that he would be better on, he'd be a starter on the Saints. He'd make them better. I'm not gonna name the Titans because I'm still iffy on Cam Ward, and we gotta let him develop. The Jets, the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Brown. Yeah, he's better than Jacoby Brissett by a million. Browns, Vikings, the Falcons,
Yeah.
the Dolphins,
Yeah.
and I almost put the Panthers, but I said I'm gonna let them rock. They're chilling right now. They're 6-5. But kid, I just named you 7, 8 teams that he would be better in the starting role than. And I think it just says you named it. You said it perfectly. What do you see when backups come into the game? Deke and duck. They don't push the ball down the field. Jameis Winston is gonna fucking sling the ball, and I respect it.
Yeah. Every time he avoided a sack or escaped the pocket, his eyes are downfield. He's not looking for a 5-yard dump. He's not looking for a 3-yard gain. He's going to air it out. Look, you saw it on full display, Dill. To me, it's flat out amazing and entertaining. If I'm the Giants, I understand Jackson Dart might be the future. I'm going to let Jameis ball till he can't ball no more.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, the Lions, they didn't look great. A win is a win after
it was just Jahmyr Gibbs and St. Brown's show. Defensively, they didn't really look good.
They were banged up, though.
Yeah, offensively, I think Jared Goff, he played okay, but another game with Jameis Williams doesn't has a 0 catches, 0 yards. To me, the Detroit Lions are at their best when Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are running the ball. And then Jared Goff is play action and hitting St. Brown, hitting Jameis Williams over the middle. I think that's when they're at their best.
Yeah, and they got a quick turnaround on Thanksgiving against the Packers here, so we'll see how they do there. But yeah, a win is a win. And yeah, I agree. They got to start Jameis for the rest of the season. Green Bay 23, Minnesota 6. JJ McCarthy. I was wrong. I've had some bad takes on this show. I was wrong about him. But I'll say this: you gotta buy now. If you believe in JJ McCarthy, buy stock in him now, where it's at an all-time low, because it's only gonna go up from here. Soft benching. He's in concussion protocol, so he's probably not gonna play this week again. Is it a soft benching 2.0? I don't know. And I'm so iffy on this Packer team, which is why I kept them in my top 10, because this defense, Jordan Love might figure it out. He won't wow you, but Emmanuel Wilson is legit, coming in, having 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. But this defense, what they were able to do against a really good receiving core like the Minnesota Vikings have, the defense is why I think they are live for Thanksgiving and for this division.
Not for none. Defensively, the Green Bay Packers looked elite yesterday. I don't know if that's the lackluster play of JJ McCarthy, or did the Packers defense was that good yesterday? I'm gonna say a mixture of both. They got constant pressure. They got 5 sacks on. I'm gonna say 4 sacks. One JJ tripped. I'm not gonna say he sacked himself. I'm gonna say he tripped. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. The running game wasn't, I think they ran the ball okay. I think Jordan Mason averaged 5 yards a carry, but other than that, I think JJ McCarthy gotta know. When in doubt, just try to force feed Justin Jefferson. There's no reason why Justin Jefferson only has 6 targets still. 4 catches for 48 yards. That some people say that's the best wide receiver in football. Jordan Addison, my boy, got 1 target, 0 catches, 0 yards. Adam Thielen, 1 target, 0 catches, 0 yards. TJ Hawkinson, 4 targets, 4 catches, 19 yards. They're going nowhere fast. So, give credit to the Packers defense. But to be honest, JJ looked bad. Definitely his worst game of the season so far. And enough for that, I think you said it perfectly. Can Jordan Love figure it out? Can the offense figure it out? Like you say, he's not gonna wow you, but can he step it up? Can he be Jordan Love like we saw in the playoff game against Dallas at Dallas? Can we see that version of Jordan Love? We haven't seen him in a while. If we could get that version of Jordan Love with this defense, okay, then you got something. But till I see a consistent high flowing offense with Christian Watson, with the running game, with Romeo Dobbs, that's when I'll be like, okay, now I see something with this Packers team. Till then, defense is playing pretty damn good, but Jordan Love needs to step it up.
I think I'm to the point where I just can't hit my lock to save my life, and that's okay. Honestly, I've come to the conclusion that I just can't. I'm going to fade my own locks starting.
I'm
here.
not going to hold you. Seattle not able to cover, ruined
against
two.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about it. But mind you, people, I had it myself a day. The only team that lost for me was the Minnesota Vikings not covering. Every play I said on the show,
and Seattle not 13.5, but you didn't bet that. But,
yeah, I didn't bet that, but I had them in a teaser. People, if you listen to all my plays, I teased every single one of my plays. Everything hit, but Seattle.
I was wrong about JJ, but I was right on this. Jackson Smith and Jigba is the best receiver on the planet. I mean, they just can't guard him. They literally can't. 8 catches, 167 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. I think it's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He hasn't had under 78 receiving yards this season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's had 8 games over 100 yards this season. He has 1,300 receiving yards. He's on pace to break the record.
Dylan, you know who said it first last year?
Yes.
JSN has been special. I think Sammy D in this offense. Don't get me wrong, the Titans did cover. So shout out to Tennessee.
And honestly, if they recovered the onside, they were live.
They were live. Yeah. Not for nothing, Cam Ward played okay. Against,
he did.
In my opinion, a top 10 defense in Seattle. I think Cam Ward played one of his better games of the season. Not for nothing. 28 for 42, 256, 1 touchdown, no interception. And he leads the NFL in sacks. He only got sacked 4 times. I understand, but for yesterday's measures where these quarterbacks, my boy Gino got sacked double digits. So, 4 is not horrible compared to yesterday. JJ got sacked 5 times. So I like what I saw from Cam Ward. Might be his best game of his career thus far. He also led the team in rushing. Don't love that. It's good to see.
They still can't run the ball, though.
Still can't run the ball. Tony Pollard's been a disaster there. Not for none. Give credit to Seattle. First half dominated. They took their foot off the gas. It's okay. Shaq Chardonnay got there with the touchdown.
Yeah, I told you. They just run him at the goal line.
Kenneth Walker ran the ball pretty well. And not for none, though, JSN had himself a game. Some people can make the case he did push off on the first 63-yard touchdown. But other than that, he's been phenomenal. I think Sammy D eliminated all the noise from last week. I understand it wasn't like the most perfect game, but he balled. Yeah. He had himself a pretty good game deal on the road. So shout out to Seahawks. Shout out Sammy D getting right back on the win column.
The Kansas City Chiefs, they win. They survive 6-5, and they have a 54% chance of making the playoffs. The Colts are going to look back and say, we fucked up. Their offense just disappeared in the second half. I don't know what happened. They didn't play good. And I don't think Daniel Jones played terrible, but they stopped giving Jonathan Taylor the ball, and they stopped feeding Tyler Warren. They got to keep giving him the ball. Rashid Rice balled out. Outside of that, Kareem Hunt had himself a nice game as well. Mm-hmm. They turned Patrick Mahomes over with the interception. He was sacked 4 times. They didn't play well in the first half. At home, I'm sitting there like, they might lose this game, but they force overtime, and then they get the win on the road. But like you said, I think you nailed it. This was a 3-point game no matter how you see it, whether the Colts win or the Kansas City Chiefs win.
Yeah, so, we got there with the Colts plus 3.5. This is vintage Patrick Mahomes. I understand he didn't throw for any touchdowns, but 19 for 46, 352. When you needed him the most, he answered the call. He even got 30 on the ground as well with a huge 13-yard first down run. That throw in to set up the game-winning kick. I think it was like 3rd and 15 or something like that to Xavier Worthy when he ran up like jump pass and threw a perfect ball. That was just vintage Patrick Mahomes. I'm with you though. I think the Indianapolis Colts definitely gonna look back like we gave this game away. You had a double-digit lead. You went into the fourth quarter. Kareem Hunt. I don't know if it was early in the fourth or late in the third. He fumbles while the Chiefs are driving. I said, "Oh yeah, it's over." With a 10-point lead, I was like, "All right, the Colts are gonna seal this game," and they couldn't do nothing with it. Chiefs score 11 unanswered in the fourth quarter, added 3 with the game-winning field goal in overtime. To be honest, I think the Chiefs just wouldn't be denied. I think that's what it came down to. I think the Colts played good, just not well enough to beat these Kansas City Chiefs. And this might show come down the stretch because we all like the Colts, but every team for the remainder of the season are gonna play the Colts like a playoff team. Now, can Daniel Jones and his offense live up to the expectations? Still, the hardest thing in sports is expectations, and the Indianapolis Colts have that. Can they recover? I think they can. But these last couple of weeks, though, it hasn't been the same Daniel Jones that we saw the first 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, no, he's definitely regressed a little bit, and I agree. I think the Colts are going to look back and be like, yeah, this is a game we kind of let go away a little bit. So, yeah, I would say tough one for the Colts, but it was a big win for the Kansas City Chiefs. They needed to win this game. Let's go to the let's go to the 4 o'clock window. Shedeur Sanders gets the win. We knew this was going to happen. Shedeur Sanders. No,
I'm not going to say we knew, but we did lean the Browns. Yeah. I didn't take the Browns officially. I'd be the first one to say.
I believed in him. If it was any game, it was Shedeur Sanders. Like he said, having a full week of practice up against everything. He threw the 1 pick, but outside of that, they really weren't able to run the ball either. But they had that deep, long pass to Dylan Sampson. I think it was like a 66-yard bomb. But they did what they did. Kind of leaned on the defense a little bit because the defense just, they 10 sacks on Geno Smith. Chip Kelly got cut. He's gone. He's terrible. The Las Vegas Raiders, I know I was looking at Tankathon the other day, or actually today. And yes, right now they have the 5th pick. They're the worst team in the NFL. The Raiders are the worst team in the NFL. They're such a bad vibe team.
I think the Saints will beat them. I think the Tennessee Titans will beat them.
Tyrod Taylor will beat them.
Yeah, I think the Jets will beat them as well. Not for none. Shout out Shedeur Sanders. He does deserve some credit. Being the first Brown quarterback to win their debut in our lifetime. Haven't happened since 1995. So I'm glad we was able to experience history. We saw history. Not for nothing. I also want to give credit to Shedeur because if there's a team out there you want to beat, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. You know why? The Las Vegas Raiders, who needed a quarterback, passed on Shedeur 5 times. So for him to get his first career wins against the Raiders at Las Vegas, to me, got to give him a little bit of credit. He played well, 11 for 20, 209. I know most of it came with that 66-yard touchdown where Sampson did most of the work, but that deep throw moving to the right to Isaiah Bond, that was one of the best throws of Sunday football. So give Shedeur credit. I think for an NFL starting debut, he played pretty damn well. I understand it was the Raiders. Defensively, though, I think Myles Garrett needs some flowers, and I know Myles Garrett already gets enough credit. He had 5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. He looked phenomenal right now.
He's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year.
He leads the NFL with 18 sacks. He's only 4.5 away from the NFL all-time sacks record in the season, held by who, Dylan? I tell you, I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
They share the stadium with your team.
Oh, Lawrence Taylor.
Everybody would have said that. Not mad at you. Michael Strahan.
Oh, wow. How much did he have?
22.5 sacks. So
what year?
That I don't know. I'm going to say probably like 05, maybe 06, somewhere
Michael
around there.
Strahan was elite.
Was elite. A lot of people forget. So what Myles Garrett has done yesterday and has been doing all season long is just flat out phenomenal. I hope one day soon he gets traded to a team where we could see him at the biggest stage. I hope the Browns, I understand the Browns probably won't be good no time soon. I hope they are, but I hope they at least give Myles Garrett the benefit, at least playing 2 or 3 prime years somewhere we could see him come playoff football.
Yeah, it was in 2021, Michael Strahan, 22 and a half sacks. TJ Watt tied it in 2021. I hope Myles Garrett breaks it. He breaks it. I mean, he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but hopefully he breaks it. He's a Hall of Famer. This guy's ridiculous. This guy is so fucking good right now. And to be honest, I'm watching the Browns some weeks. I'm like, I feel bad for Myles Garrett. But then again, I don't. You took the money.
Yeah.
You took the money.
Easily just dipped.
Yeah.
You could have chosen any team, and you could have been like, I want this. They would have gave you more.
Yeah. Dylan Gabriel did pass concussion protocol, but Kevin Stefanski came out and named Shedeur Sanders the starter this week. Good for him. He
had to. First quarterback to win in their NFL debut in 30 years.
Yeah. You get there barely in overtime, but the lock of the week gets home. Jaguars -2.5 in overtime. Yeah, I was sweaty. Trevor Lawrence is addicted to throwing interceptions.
I'm not going to lie. The last interception he threw before that nice touchdown drive, I don't know what he was looking at. Shout out Buda Baker, still out here. I think that was his first interception of the year as well. What a great read, diving catch for that interception. Not for nothing. I understand he threw 3 picks, but he also threw 3 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence, 18 for 30, 256. Travis Etienne ran the ball pretty well. Shout out Brenton Strange, first game back from IR, led the team in receiving yards. Parker Washington has been a godsend for this offense these last couple of weeks of the season. He's been stepping up. Jacoby Myers, I think second or third game there, he had 50 yards and a touchdown. So, not impressive. We did get there with the -2.5. I'll be the first one to say with my lock, that was straight luck. To me, the Arizona Cardinals should have won this game. I don't know why Cohen didn't just kick the field goal to make it a 6-point game. Jacoby Brissett threw a couple nice balls to send it to overtime. So give credit to the Jags. They are 7-4. They have a chance, if the Colts slip up, to possibly win the division. But hey, they're making a playoff push right now. Though they gotta fight off the Texans, gotta fight off the Chiefs. So they just gotta keep it on. The Jacksonville Jaguars will find themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah, they do have a 60% chance of making the playoffs. They're only a game back, 60? And they do. Yeah. Right now they're in the playoffs right now. They're the 6th
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They got to hold off the Texans.
What did I say? What percent? 60? It's actually 70.
Shout out to Jacksonville Jaguars.
Liam Cohen.
We got to get their deal at plus money to make the playoffs with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, like I said, I not the most impressive win, but it is a win.
They might win the division. I might get there with my division ticket.
Yeah,
Colts are regressing. But they're a game back, and they play the Colts twice.
Let me ask you a question, though. Honest answer. Trevor Lawrence or Indiana Jones?
You put me in a tough spot because
I know the answer.
I hate both of them, but I have to take Daniel Jones right now.
I know. That's why I said. That's why I love to ask.
But as a team,
because I knew the answer.
Give me Jacksonville. As a team,
put it like this. You know how you said they play each other twice?
Yeah.
I'm letting you know right now, people. I'm going to be betting both home teams will win that game.
And let's not forget, Houston has the best defense in this division. They're sneaking around too.
Yeah, but is C.J. Stroud coming next week?
Maybe.
I'm letting
Davis Mills is 3-0.
I don't expect him to go 5-0.
We didn't expect him to go 3-0.
I expected him to go 2-1. It wasn't the hardest competition.
Excuse me. You know who I didn't expect to play well?
Bills.
Kirk Cousins. I did not expect him to.
Can't Cuz. You get to 2.5.
He played pretty well, better than I expected. He had the 1 interception.
Shout out to Nar Mooney as well. I said, Mooney.
He had a good game. 3 catches, 74 yards. He had a touchdown. Bijan ran the ball well. Tyler Shuck didn't play well. I mean, rookie at home. Defense actually showed up, but it's the Saints. Chris Olave, I feel bad for him. He should come to the Jets. But yeah, it was a tough game for the Saints. They're a hard watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep this one short and sweet. We all know Kirk Cousins is definitely past his prime, but the main reason why I took Atlanta in this spot was, is it Kirk Cousins or Tyler Saul? You're gonna take a rookie quarterback against a pretty good Atlanta defense, or you're gonna take Kirk Cousins in not for none. In New Orleans is a tough spot to play, but this ain't the New Orleans Saints from a couple of years ago now. So not for that, Kirk Cousins looked pretty damn good after being benched all season. Bijan Robinson could have ran the ball a little better. And not for that, without Drake London, the offense was still managed to score 24 points. So shout out Kirk Cousins. Hopefully he finishes strong.
Does he get another contract? If he does, he's the biggest finesse ever.
No.
Hey, the Raiders need one.
Yeah, but not at that number. He's getting 40 a year. 40 a year. Shout out Kirk Cousins. Shout out his agent.
He's taking it to the bank.
What I say? Kenfolk Cuz. It's my Kenfolk.
Cowboys down 21-0. It's the largest comeback in Dallas history. They win 24-21. They were just Jalen Hurts. He looks frustrated. I'll say that. And they spammed AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. They had pretty good games, and then 10 carries for 22 yards. They cannot run the ball to save their life. I don't know what. Obviously, Lane Johnson being out kind of hurts this team, but for majority of the offense, it's kind of the same thing. The drop-off is insane with this offense. It looks at times like a high school offense where they don't really know what they're doing, and they kind of just try to spam their best player. And Cowboys are a feisty team. Another quarterback who I don't like, but he's having a pretty good year, and he was like trying to throw interceptions.
He wasn't trying, he did.
Yeah. Kendrick Bourne should have had that pick. It hit him right in the fucking helmet. Zach Bond, excuse me. I said Kendrick Bourne. Zach Bond. I don't know, man. George Pickens is a top 10 receiver. I'll say that. This guy is fucking.
Well, you heard it first.
Fucking phenomenal. 9 targets, 9 catches, 146 yards. CD had a pretty good game as well, but
couple drops again.
Hey, that's it. That's his thing. Kid, this Dallas Cowboy team is a feisty team. I'll say that. They're 500. The tie is crazy still, but
got the Chiefs on Thanksgiving in a couple days, hours.
A couple hours for this team, but I don't know. After the second half, I don't understand how this team plays just one half of football. And Brandon Aubrey missed a field goal.
Yeah, first time all year. Dill, all I kept hearing throughout the week was the Eagles defense. The Eagles defense.
They did get hurt though. Couple quarters went.
Yeah. But what I kept hearing was the Eagles defense, and we saw them in the first half, Dill. But what I said to you, last pod, you know who's top 5 in rushing this season? Javonte Williams. You know who's top 3 in receiving yards? Now top 2? George Pickens. You know who's top 5 in passing? Dak Prescott. He might be top 3 now after that 354. This offense, don't get me wrong, people. I did not expect them to come back from 21-0. But I did expect them to win this game. It's just this offense has been flourishing. This offense has taken off. And we even saw this offense still be pretty damn good when CeeDee Lamb was out with an ankle sprain. George Pickens has over 1,000 yards this season, Dill. Who would have thought that? He's going to get himself a huge payday. CeeDee Lamb, 11 targets, 4 catches. He had a couple drops there. He dropped a touchdown that could have put this game away earlier. So I think Dak Prescott, like you said, he doesn't get his credit. He doesn't get the flowers. Well, I'm not saying he deserves flowers, but he is having one hell of a season. So I want to just agree with you on that. Dak Prescott has been balling, and not for nothing, though. Defensively, I understand Dallas Cowboys early on was ferocious on defense. What we saw in the second half last night was damn near almost perfect. We saw Jake Ellis miss the field goal. We saw them punch the ball out against Saquon. We saw them in special teams. They put the clamps on the Eagles in the second half. Offensively for the Eagles, they looked great in the first half. Jalen Hurts passed the ball well. AJ Brown had himself one of his better days of the season. We saw Devontae Smith catch that huge 40-yard bomb. It's just that running game hasn't been the same. Saquon Barkley, 2.2 yards a carry? What? That's not the Saquon I know. So definitely missing Kellen Moore. I think the Eagles will be are going to be just fine. It's just that offense is missing something. Maybe it's a little more Saquon. Who knows? But give credit to the Dallas Cowboys. We get there plus 3.5. Get there with the dog of the week. Hey, they don't look too fast. They might, if they win Thursday, might make a playoff push.
And I'll say this. I love Brian Schottenheimer. I mean, he had some momentum. You saw him in the locker room after that. It looks like the boys are playing for him, truthfully. So, yeah, 5-5. I want to read you Dak's numbers. 2,941 passing yards. That's third in the league. 23 touchdowns. That's tied for second. 7 picks. Not terrible. QBR 74.1. That is the best in the NFL. He's a top 5 quarterback.
He's playing like it. Like what I always said though about Dak. It'd be times where Dak will
like
be
him.
I understand that.
I want to like him. That's the thing. I want to like him, but I'm coming around.
Dak Prescott at times plays like a top 10 quarterback. At times, occasionally Dak Prescott will be in the MVP conversation. Happened more than once. But it is at times where Dak Prescott looks like a bottom 10 quarterback. But more often than not, he looks like a top 10-ish. And to be honest, he's playing like a top 5 quarterback right now. And I'm not sure if I would put him in the top 10 list.
Would you take,
just because he's not as consistent as these other guys that we know.
Would you take Dak Prescott or CMC for comeback player of the year?
CMC, man, CMC leads the. I'm pretty sure he still leads the league in all-purpose yards, catching and receiving. I think but like this,
it's gonna depend whose team finishes better.
Yeah, if the Cowboys was gonna win the division, it'll be Dak Prescott. But if somehow this 49ers team, with all the injuries they dealt with, could make the playoffs, I think CMC earned the award.
Right now, the odds are CMC minus 115, Dak plus 115. It's a coin flip.
And not for none. We know the NFL, the award most likely will go to a quarterback, which is a shame.
By the way, I was reading some of the odds for Coach of the Year. Mike Vrabel minus 210.
Yeah, there's. To be honest, I'm surprised Shane Steichen ain't the favorite. He should be, in my opinion. But what Mike Vrabel has been able to do, Dylan, let's not forget, it's week 12. The first rusher all year had 100 yards on us, Chase Brown. I forgot to even mention that. Shout out Chase Brown. He ran the ball tremendously. First running back all season.
You're missing Milton Williams.
Yeah, first running back all season to have more than 60 rushing yards out against us.
Yeah. Shane Steichen is second at plus 470. Ben Johnson third at 9-1. I think he deserves.
My Kyle Shanahan ticket at plus 2,500 is dead.
I mean, they're just always riddled with injuries. And to be honest, offensive player of the year, do not look now. Jackson Smith and Jigba should win that over Jonathan Taylor.
He should.
What do you think the odds are?
Taylor might still be favored, but I'm going to say similar to Dak and CMC. I'm going to say Taylor is like minus 145, Jason like plus 150.
Closer than that, Jonathan Taylor minus 120, JSN minus 105.
Damn, I was close though.
Yeah.
I was close.
Sunday Night Football and the leader, talking about awards, the MVP, minus 220 now for Matthew Stafford. Kid, what he's doing is remarkable. 25 for 35, 273, 3 touchdowns. The game was over at halftime.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, he wound up leaving. He's going to have an MRI on his left shoulder. Didn't look good that he had a sling.
They're saying he tore the ligament.
Yeah, so apparently the MRI, he suffered a sprained AC joint in his left shoulder. There's no fracture, no structural damage. But the MRI is going to rule more. They're not ruling him out for Sunday, but it probably looks like Teddy Bridgewater is probably going to play. And Teddy Two Gloves, there's only so much he could do with all the injuries. I'll say this: Emeka Ibuka has dropped ever since the last. I want to say
first 5 weeks of the season. I think he had a touchdown every game.
Yeah, he's dropped off.
Since then, yeah.
And this defense. The Durant just ripping the ball out. Like, this defense is flying.
And not for them, that's the second time that happened to Cade Otton, too. He bobbles the ball, and then he gets interception. We saw it a couple weeks ago as well. So, it sucks because Baker Mayfield, first 5-6 weeks of the season was in the MVP category conversation. Now, they regress, losing 3 straight. Patriots, Bills, now the Rams. 2 out of the 3 were on the road as well. I think Todd Bowles is just too many injuries to overcome. It was nice to see Chris Godwin finally back yesterday. So good to see. I think he had 2 catches, 9 yards. It is what it is. Tez Johnson he had the touchdown, but the story has to be Matthew Stafford in that offense. Devontae Smith, he gets there. I leaned the anytime touchdown. Should have just went with it as well. Devontae Smith, though, I think he has 8 straight games with a touchdown. I think he has 10 this season, I think, which leads the NFL with wide receivers. So shout out Devontae Adams having a career year this late in his prime. Puka Nacua, we all know how great he is. And then, not for nothing, we saw a little Blake Corum action yesterday, a little sprinkle of Colonel Williams as well. But the story has to be Matthew Stafford. 25 for 35, 273, 3 tutties. He was damn near perfect. And what I said early on about this Rams team, Dill, the defense is much better than people either give them credit for or know about. Because I know they all know about Puka, Devontae, Sean McVay calling the plays. But quietly, with Jared Verse leading the pack, it's been a top 10 defense all season long. Give credit to the Rams, number 1 seed right now in the NFC.
Are we worried about the Bucs? If Panthers somehow win on Monday night, they are in first place.
If you tell me Baker is going to be out 2 weeks or more, absolutely. Do I think the Bucs will still lose another game or 2 and win the division? Yes. Do I think Bryce Young could outplay Teddy Bridgewater if Baker is out for the remainder of the season? Absolutely. Say, for example, we get some news Wednesday night or on Thanksgiving, say Baker Mayfield will be out. We'll get put on IR. I would advise to put a ticket on Panthers to win the NFC South.
Right now, let me look at the division odds for you. And right now, minus 380 for the Bucs, plus 330 for the Panthers.
Vegas is basically saying Baker is healthy. He'll be back sooner than later.
And they do play each other 2 of the last 3 weeks of the season at home at Carolina in week 16, and then week 18 they finish the season at home in Tampa. That might come down for the division.
Yeah, realistically, you only need Baker for the last 3 games of the year.
Yeah, for the division.
You're gonna need to win 2. You win those 2 games, you win the division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kid. So overall, prop of the week hit for me. Teaser is still live. We will see on Monday night. Dog did not get there, and Lock did not get there. So we could actually come up if we hit our teaser, and San Francisco winds up covering. We'll wind up with a positive record this week. But how did you do?
I did. I had my best day of the year yesterday. I went 7-1 on Sunday. So far, I'm 8-2 on the week. We got there with Atlanta plus 2.5. They won all right. I got there with Dallas plus 3.5. Got there with the dog of the week, Dallas Cowboys as well. Lock of the week, Jacksonville Jaguars. Even though it was sweaty and lucky, we got there with the 2.5. Player prop of the week, Sammy D over 240 passing. He had 244. We got there with Chicago minus 2.5. Patriots, like I said, though, on the show, shout out Joe Burrow. The number was 5.5. I smashed the 5.5 with the Patriots, and then Indianapolis Colts plus 3.5. The only thing I lost, was the teaser deal. The Minnesota Vikings couldn't cover 12 and a
That's been
half.
the story for the duration of this podcast.
It's just a teaser. So I know I said it last week. I think it's official. We're going 2 legs minus 134 for the remainder of the season because I just want to give out winners. That's all. Even if it's a little juice, a win is a win. I cannot hit the plus 140.
Like Liam
three-way,
Cohen
6 leg.
says, do not apologize for winning in this league. And Elvis
Yeah.
is not apologizing either. All right, kid. Shout out you. Glad you had a really good week. Before we get to Monday Night Football between the 49ers and the Panthers, a quick word from our sponsor. We're brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavored tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks. So just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching Monday Night Football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Monday Night Football. It's not Candlestick, it's Levi Stadium, but it will always be Candlestick for us. But San Francisco hosting the Carolina Panthers. 49ers laying 7.5 here at home, minus 405 on the money line, plus 320 for the Panthers. Total is at 49.5. Nice win for the 49ers last week. They looked good. Brock Purdy looked good as well, coming back. If this team can try, and I really mean try, and stay as healthy as they can for the rest of the season, I think they could go on a run into the playoffs. Like, this is a good team. I can't back Bryce Young on the road. I know he had a career game last week, but even without their 2 best players on defense, Bob Salah's defense is going to get pressure on Bryce Young and force him to make some mistakes. And 49ers beat up bad teams. I like the 49ers here at home. I know it's a big number, but I think the market, like Sunday Night Football, is telling you. I think the Panthers are riddled with injuries as well. I'm going to back the 49ers here. They're obviously in my teaser as well, so I'm already financially dependent on them, but I do think they're the right side here. So I'll take the 49ers.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. We just saw the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young, not for nothing, have their best offensive performance of the year. Bryce Young, over 350 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. McCollum had 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Leggett had a touchdown, over 70, 80 yards. Rico Dowell ran the ball tremendously. And I think the offense regresses a little bit at Levi. Shout out to San Francisco 49ers. Even with all the injuries, they find themselves 7-4. Still have a shot at division, even though the Rams looking like they might run away with it. I'm going to lay the 7.5 here. I just don't see, especially the Carolinas offense, one, being that good for 2 weeks straight, and also taking that show on the road on the biggest stage in Monday Night Football. I think Brock Purdy and this offense is well enough to take care of business. Like I said earlier, CMC leads the league in all-purpose yards. Juwan Jennings is back. Purser is back. George Kittle is back. And especially Brock Purdy is back. Give me I'm going to lay the 7.5 with the 49ers. Kind of lean the under as well.
Oh, that's interesting because I was going to ask you. I actually lean over because I think 49ers could put up like 27, 30 points. And I think the Panthers could put up 10, 15 points.
And that's under. 49.5. That's a high total. Don't get me wrong. I expect the 49ers to give me 27 to 34, around there. Do I expect Carolina to give me 20 plus on the road? I'm not too sure about that. So I'm going to lean with the under. I'm going to say 31-17. The total's 48. It goes under.
There's a reason I took math at the last chance I could get because I am terrible in it. But I don't know. I guess I just see – I think the total did open at 47.5. So
see, at 47.5, I would lean but I don't think they score 50. I don't see
Yeah,
that.
so I guess I agree with the market. It is moving up. I wish I got 47.5. It's at 49.5 right now. I'm not gonna touch the total, but I do think we'll see. I do think we'll see some points here. But we're both on the 49ers. We're kind of seeing different sides on the total. But let's go to the prop for Monday Night Football, and it's brought to you by Props.Cash, the best way to research all your player props. Elvis and I have been using Props.Cash for 2 years now, and it's helped us find an edge in several player prop markets on the web or in the Props.Cash app. You'll get quick visual data on player trends, matchup history, and recent performance across every major sport. Clean, reliable stats that make it easier to spot value. Plans start at just $19.99 a month, and right now you can get 25% off your first month with code DREAM25. That is DREAM25. So download the app, not now, but right now, and sign up with the monthly subscription and use code DREAM25, and you'll be paying just $14.99 your first month. Level up your prop research today at Props.Cash. We've been hot with the props lately. I know we hit a roadblock. I think it was like week 9 or 8. But hey, we've been like 3-4 weeks in a row now on the props. So let's keep it rolling. What do you got here for Monday night?
I wanted to touch, yards play. Like I said, Rico wide open, running the ball tremendously. CMC all purpose, rushing or receiving. But one of Brock Purdy's favorite targets is back. He didn't have that much of a monster game last week. I expect him to bounce back this week. Give me George Kittle anytime touchdown, plus 120, though. I expect him to find the end zone. He's going to be one of Brock Purdy's favorite red zone targets. And if CMC doesn't punch it in, I think George Kittle is the second option after CMC. Give me George Kittle anytime touchdown, plus 120.
So earlier at like 197, 198, I liked Bryce Young's over because this team is extremely banged up, and San Francisco's ranked 26th in the league versus the quarterback. They allow a lot of yards. Coming off a 448-yard game, I felt like 198, he could get 200 yards. Now at 209, the market it's gone my way, but I think it's gone to a point where I just can't touch it. I do think Bryce Young could put up some numbers. I actually like Christian McCaffrey over his receiving yards, 45.5. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's only gone under this twice this season. It was last week against Arizona and against Houston, who has a top 5 defense, and he still got 43 yards. But he's hit this number in 82% of his of the season, and you can get that at minus 110. It's a great number, and he's averaging 65 yards receiving through the air. So I think the number is just a little low for Christian McCaffrey. So over 45.5 receiving yards for Christian McCaffrey. That's going to be my prop of the week. I also I like George Kittle anytime touchdown. I really do. I saw it earlier at like plus 150. You said you got it at plus 120, 121. It's come down, which makes sense. A lot of people are probably betting it. But yeah, I like that as well. I was even looking at Bryce Young over 20.5 completions. Think he could get that. As much as like I'm fading Carolina, I think Bryce Young could have a decent game against this defense. That's how I'm kind of seeing it.
He's been playing well, especially these last few. Ever since he came back from injury, he's been playing pretty well. Not for nothing.
Yeah. So, all right, kid. Yeah, 20.5. I kind of like. I mean, he had 31 last week. They're 31st in the league in giving up pass completions. San Francisco. He's averaging 20 completions a game. All I need is one more. Yeah, add it to my card. 20.5 Bryce Young over completions. I like that as well.
Love it, Bill. Love it.
All right, kid. Let's get to Monday night NBA. 10 games. I think our teams are playing tonight in Brooklyn. Tickets 135. You going?
Nah, it's Thanksgiving. I got a couple things to do at the house before Thanksgiving. So
what do we like
for tonight? I think it's one game. I'm gonna be honest. I wish it was a little earlier. Houston Rockets taking on the Phoenix Suns.
No KD,
and Houston is still laying 6.5 on the road. Give me the 6.5 with the Phoenix Suns. Both these teams are hot. Both won 4 out of the last 5 games. But, Dale, you know who I like the over? Probably won't bet it. It's a 19.5. It's a little high, but little revenge spot for Dylan Brooks. 19.5 minus 118. Dale, I think you have a big game. Make a couple threes. Make things interesting. And also play hard defense against his former team. I like Phoenix plus 6.5 tonight. I don't want to lay the 10.5 with Detroit, but I think I might. I think it's also a great teaser spot for anybody listening. Get Detroit on a teaser. Don't want to lay the big points, but if you have the balls, if you got the bankroll, by all means. Still, the Knicks are a better team, but give me the 13.5 with the Brooklyn Nets. I think we can cover it. We could cover it. You just saw us against the Boston Celtics in the Cup. We might win the Cup.
Lucky.
Michael Porter Jr. finished the game, 14 straight points. Stop playing. Like I said, you guys are clearly the better team. Are you a 14-point bettors? I'm not sure.
18-point better, my model.
Good luck, Dale. Good luck. Kind of like Miami minus 7.5 at home against Dallas. It's going to be an interesting game, not for night. And then for tomorrow, don't really like the rest of the slate. For tomorrow, give me the Lakers plus 1.5 at home against the Clippers.
James Harden went crazy over the weekend. Did you see that? 50 burger?
55 piece. Yeah. He's doing everything he can
to get into the Hall of Fame.
No, he's already a Hall of Famer. Well, I think he's doing everything he can to at least turn the season around. No Bradley Beal. He's out for the remainder of the year. Kawhi. We know Kawhi.
Shocker.
Leonard. Yeah, so I think James Harden is just balling. Like he said, this basketball is life for him. And I'm shocked he said that because we know James Harden, especially in the Houston days, he don't mind the light life. He doesn't mind.
Do you know what James Harden is averaging this year?
After these last couple games, I'm going to say at least 28.
28, 6 and 8.
Yeah. 6 rebounds, 8 assists.
Yeah.
Surprised he's not averaging 10 assists. If Bradley Beal and Kawhi was on the floor, maybe he will.
They're hurting his numbers.
Yeah.
They really
James
are.
Harden, some people say he got fat. He's a little past his prime. Still top 10 point guard. Still could give you 40 any night.
That shit was, when I saw that, I said, oh yeah, he's crazy. By the way, tickets, if you're in the Philly or the DC area, which I was just in, tickets is always $12 to $15 to get in tomorrow.
Where?
$12 to get into the Xfinity Arena to see the Magic and Sixers, $15 to see the Hawks and the Wizards. Do you know what the lowest ticket to get in the Crypto Arena is?
Crypto Arena?
Yeah.
That's a game. Lakers, Clippers. Cheapest, I'm going to say 187.
147. Not bad.
Not
bad. But all right, kid. Yeah, for me, college had a weird slate with all the break going on. I had games going on today. Towson covered, got the win outright as a 2-point underdog. Got a shout out to alma mater. But game, if you're watching live, if you could get it in, St. John's is about to play Iowa State. I took St. John's as an underdog plus 2.5. And then midnight tonight, give me the Terps, Maryland minus 1.5 against UNLV. Kid, do you know where I will be at 7:00 tonight?
7:00 tonight?
7:00 tonight.
Where would you be at 7:00 tonight? You're not gonna. The game is Friday. I don't know. I'm gonna say Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the game.
No, shout out B-Dubs. No free shout outs, but they got amazing wings. Brick City, Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center, watching the Devils taking on the Wings, baby.
Back-to-back games. You go to Jets, Ravens yesterday. Hey. Now, Devils game in Newark.
Friday, watching the state championship at MetLife. Kid, the wifey's away for the week for the holidays. I got a lot of free time.
Watch a lot of games.
Enjoy the time, but we will be back Wednesday. We'll have picks for the Thanksgiving triple header. We'll also have a pick for Friday, Black Friday game.
Wait, real quick. Do you want to come back Wednesday, or you want to do it Thursday morning? Wait, let's. I'm asking you in front of the people.
I'd rather do it Wednesday. I got things to do on Thursday before Thanksgiving, and I kind of want to let give the pod out a little time so they could get their picks in and listen. And we're gonna do our top 10 ranking. So usually the pod on Wednesday is a little longer.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do a lock dog teaser for Turkey Day?
I did not think of that. We could do a best bet. Yeah, we'll do a best bet.
You know what? Yeah. We should do lock, dog, and prop of the day for Thursday.
Yeah, you're just so anti-teaser. I love it.
I ain't fucking with it.
Yeah, we could do lock, dog, and prop of the because we're gonna give out 4 predictions on Wednesday, and then obviously our And by the way, since I am going to the games on Friday, we're gonna have a late episode. Elvis, you gotta talk to the no more Fridays, bro.
Nah,
on Black Friday.
Friday is it's always a zoo. I drive people. Friday's always a zoo.
It's just unfortunate because like my job, and I know other people's jobs, like they just gave Thanksgiving week off, like Thursday and Friday. Like, oh,
no,
not you,
not me. Not me.
Hopefully they give you time and a half, kid. Fucking you could be
that's
on
possible.
the table.
That's looking like 50-50 right there.
Okay, good. All right, well, at least you're being compensated. That's important. But kid, we'll see you Wednesday. Got a lot to talk about. Got some power rankings. We got some predictions, and yeah, we'll see you on Friday. Enjoy Monday Night Football, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday. Peace.